Joe Biden couldn't run a gas station. We've talked about this before. He certainly can't run the country. But I mean this, and this is not hyperbole. I don't believe Joe Biden could run right now a neighborhood gas station. And to not understand the basic economics, as if your point about competition is a fantastic one, because as you're driving down the road, the close gas stations compete on a daily basis to have a little bit cheaper gas. And the reason they do that is because they want you to stop at their gas station and hopefully come in and buy a soda or buy some chips or buy something product that you need that you go in and buy during the time that you're filling up your gas tank. Did you see that our esteemed president is continuing to demand, Buck, that gas stations... I can't believe that he's still doing this. He's still saying to the gas stations, bring down your prices now. And I know we probably have a lot of gas station owners who listen to these shows, and I feel like it's important to make it clear to everybody out there as gas prices are starting to tick back up. Most convenience stores do not make money off of gas.
Most gas stations don't make money off of gas.
Right.
They make money off the convenience store.
1 or 2 cents. I mean, they basically break-even product for them. They sell everything inside of the convenience store. That's how they make their profit.
I mean, Joe Biden's only experience of capitalism is Hunter apparently negotiating for crack and for Chinese businessmen to write him multi-million-dollar checks to sell access to his dad. Joe Biden does not have a sound understanding of capitalism, because if he did, he'd understand. Hold on a second. First of all, I mean, he's as crazy at this point. If he started just shouting at an actual gas pump, I wouldn't be surprised. It's just the whole thing is all theatrics and absurdity. But if you have a gas station that's selling it at $5 a gallon, let's say, and is price gouging, the gas station across the street can sell it for $4 a gallon and get a whole lot more business. The thing that affects all this is what is the actual price of gas at that point in time, which is what sets the baseline price. And then they have to have a very narrow profit margin on top of that, which is why, generally speaking, you don't see huge swings in gas prices in the same area. I honestly don't think Joe Biden understands that.
Well, he certainly doesn't. Listen to this clip. He's still screaming at gas station owners to bring down the price of gas.
Oil and gas companies are still making record profits, billions of dollars in profit. But guess what? Price of oil comes down. Guess how long don't you think the price of the pump should come down? The price of a gallon of gasoline. But it takes a long time for that to happen in relative terms. And they're making a lot of profit, and the public is paying as part of the inflation. And but look, my message is simple. To the companies running gas stations and setting those prices at the pump, bring down the prices you're charging at the pump to reflect the cost you pay for the product. Do it now. Do it now. Not a month from now. Do it now. And it's going to save people a lot of money. A little over a year ago, I signed an executive order to promote competition with the goal of lowering prices for consumers and raising the wages of workers and encouraging innovation in the economy. We made some real progress. When companies have to compete, it's a simple proposition. They have to compete.
Who is more of an economic illiterate, Joe Biden or AOC? I think it's a fair question to ask at this point. I think AOC may actually understand, because Instagram influencer, you get money for things. I don't think Joe Biden knows the first thing about how a business actually operates.
Joe Biden couldn't run a gas station. We've talked about this before. He certainly can't run the country. But I mean this, and this is not hyperbole. I don't believe Joe Biden could run right now a neighborhood gas station. And to not understand the basic economics, as if your point about competition is a fantastic one, because as you're driving down the road, the close gas stations compete on a daily basis to have a little bit cheaper gas. And the reason they do that is because they want you to stop at their gas station and hopefully come in and buy a soda or buy some chips or buy something product that you need that you go in and buy during the time that you're filling up your gas tank. Speaking of which, have you ever been to a Buc-ee's, Buck? Do you know the concept of Buc-ees? Have you ever heard of it?
No.
I would take every spare dollar that I have right now and put it into the Buc-ees brand. It's a privately owned. Everyone in the entire state of Texas is nodding their heads right now. They just opened one in the state of Tennessee. It's between Nashville and Knoxville, and I've stopped a couple of times now. I can't even do justice, Buck, to how incredible this gas station is. It's a Texas-based gas station. They have the cleanest it's like you're going into a 5-star restaurant. The bathrooms are that clean. And they have everything you could possibly want to buy that you have ever seen, surrounded by a huge field of gas station pumps. I can't do like I walked in and I felt like I was entering into gas station nirvana. It is the most fabulous place I've ever bought gas in my life. And a lot of people out there listening to us in different parts of the country right now have no idea what I'm talking about. And then there's about people in about 10 states that are like, Clay Travis, you have never said anything more true in your entire radio career.
So my family's experience, I remember this, of road trips and gas stations was we used to drive from New York City down to Charlottesville, Virginia, to visit my grandmother and my uncle down there for holidays. And at the time, we were driving in a blue Cadillac sedan. There were 6 of us. A blue Cadillac sedan that really could comfortably hold
that's a tight fit.
4.5.
Yeah.
And the AC didn't work, so that was always fun because 4th of July we would drive down there. And we would be driving, and I just remember at rest stops, it was the conversation my parents used to have with me when I was a kid at rest stops along I-95 reminded me of the conversation that some of the like spec ops guys who were in charge of keeping me alive in Iraq and Afghanistan would have with me. They'd be like, all right, look, you follow me closely.
How you get out. Yeah.
You don't shoot unless I shoot. You scoot after I shoot. Now, obviously, I wasn't armed as an 8-year-old, but my parents would pull me aside, and it's like they were preparing me for battle. Like, we're going to take that hill in this rest stop because, people were always terrified. Rest stops were super gross.
When we were kids, even though you're 3 years younger, everybody thought you were going to get kidnapped everywhere. America's Most Wanted was on. Like, you grew up in a constant state of peril when it came to being a young kid and the idea that you might get kidnapped. It really was. Buck, I'm telling you, I was right on SEC football. At some point, we are going to be on the road, and we're going to see a sign for Buc-ees, and I'm going to be like, we have to go here, and you're going to walk in, and you're going to be like, this is the most amazing gas station that's ever been built.
First of all, the name is phenomenal, Clay. So you start with that.
In fact, right now, if you agree with me, deluge Buck with how amazing this gas station is. As we go to commercial break, at Clay Travis, at Buck Sexton, you can find us on Twitter there. Tell Buck that I am not crazy. All of you in about 10 states where this company is right now.
You mentioned the bathrooms. I'll just say this: something that I've read and heard for years from people in the restaurant industry, that all you have to do is see the bathroom of a restaurant, and you know everything about how the kitchen is run. The more I've learned, the more I've found, it is 100% true.
That's
if you see the bathroom, if the bathroom is nice and if they pay attention, and you're good. If the bathroom is in bad shape, the kitchen is in bad shape. It is always true.
Well said. Well, you are going to see this when we eventually go, and you're going to be like, this is the most immaculately run business in the gas station industry of all time, and you're going to be in love with them like I am.
We were just talking about Buc-ees, which I had never heard of before, as I live in the Northeast. I live in New York City, and we do not have Buc-ees here, from what I understand. And Clay, you have unleashed the Buc-ees hordes.
I'm telling you, man.
People love this place. There is a fervor in support of this gas station chain, the likes of which this is like, when this is like the early days of Chick-fil-A. Like when people were telling other people about Chick-fil-A, they're like, you don't understand. They're the best chicken sandwiches on the planet. And they're the nicest people working there. And they're the best. And you're like, how could it? Apparently it is that good. We got so many lines lit, and we want to take a bunch of your calls. But speaking of Buc-ees, we got Regina from Houston, Texas, used to work at Buc-ees. She's got some thoughts for us. Hey, Regina.
Hey. When we first moved to Texas, I was enamored by Buc-ees, too. Thought it was the greatest place on earth. get a job there because they pay well. Well, found out why they pay so well. It's not all it's cracked up to be. So
How so?
the turnover rate is extremely high. They can't keep employees very long at all. To be exact, when you get trained by another employee because they don't spend any money on you because most people are going to quit.
I think they pay decently. There's like 100 people who work there, Buck. So this is not like your typical gas station where you would walk in and there would be like one person there and maybe another person stocking or something. This is like going to Disney World to buy gas, right? I mean, it is an incredible experience. They got brisket sandwiches. They got every coffee you could possibly imagine, every different kind of outfit. I mean, this is... it's even hard to explain to someone who hasn't been to one before. It is truly an experience. Like, I would take someone who had never been and stop just to let them see it.
I have never heard you as excited about something that wasn't sports or Civil War camp as this.
Buck, here's how crazy it is. I would put every spare dollar I have if they would let me invest into Buc-ees and be like, I am going to be insanely rich off of this. That's how great it is. It is amazing. I'd like to meet the owner. He's a Texas A&M grad, is my understanding. Go fighting Texas Aggies.